All right, well, welcome to the third episode of the KillCam Podcast. I know we took a hiatus here over the past month or so, a big bloated hiatus.
I like that.
We got busy with the holidays.
Family events. It was a bad timing for us to try and maintain a good schedule.
Yep, so we're going to try to get back on our every other week here going forward. So again, welcome back. All right, so on our agenda today, we're going to talk about, we heard some rumors about KOTOR potentially coming back, Knights of the Old Republic. We're going to talk a little bit about some Overwatch stuff.
KOTOR should definitely be our first thing because it's...
Oh, it will be.
Okay, good.
It will be. Kevin wants to cover some Game Pass. We're going to talk a little bit about the Star Wars movie that we both saw over the holidays. There's been some big game delays that come through the past couple weeks. Some new games that are coming out, and then I know you went to PAX, so I'm sure everyone wants to hear about how that is. Talk about some boards.
Yeah, I mean, PAX is definitely like where my love of, I don't want to say love of boards because I'm still relatively new into it, but it's like that's where I go to pretty much get like exposure to all the new games, or not even new games, just games that have been out. It's like I normally don't associate myself with them, but when I go to a convention where literally half the huge building is dedicated to like board and tabletop games, it's like I kind of have to associate myself with it.
So I personally still haven't been to PAX ever.
It's fun.
I'd like to go one day, but I haven't been yet.
Oh, yeah. So,
all right, let's jump right in, man.
Right.
I heard these KOTOR rumors.
Dude, okay, so...
Give me your initial thoughts, and then I'll give you mine.
I put out a tweet today, and I literally was just like, don't give me... stop giving me hope for KOTOR, because it's like, we've been hearing this whole, like, KOTOR sequel, KOTOR reboot, KOTOR remake. Like, we've been hearing that stuff for years. So I was like, wait, check it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, we've been hearing KOTOR stuff for so many years that it's like, I've almost just gotten jaded to the point where whenever I hear it, it's just another, like, boy cried wolf. And but the fact that, like, all of, like, Twitter, like, a bunch of, like, pages were posting about it, I'm like, that's a little bit of a more prevalent sign. And like apparently too, the source that came out and said it was also the same source that brought the Kenobi show to light, which is verified and true. So it's like I still don't want to give it the hope, but it's like there is a spot in the back of my mind that's like screaming out of excitement. So
I'm feeling pretty confident about it. Usually it's just my dumb ass like trying to find some random person on the internet talking about how KOTOR is going to get remade or a new one in the series. But the fact that, this is big news in the gaming community, I feel like this is pretty legitimate. So I'm excited. KOTOR 1 and 2 are both, two of my favorite games of all time.
I actually started a KOTOR 2 playthrough again.
Yeah, I'm going to get it probably next time it's on sale again on the Steam store.
It still has a terrible beginning. Yeah,
that first level's a little weak, but it's all right. It's a great game. If anybody's listening and they have never tried a KOTOR, I highly recommend it. I'm excited for it. It sounds like they're going to try to do like from the rumors, of course. This is all based on rumors that they're going to try to do a kind of a God of War type thing where they reboot it.
A soft reboot, yeah.
Yeah, like a soft reboot, which I think could be really interesting. I'm excited to see, based on how the graphical engines have improved.
Could you imagine, like, not saying it would play like God of War, but could you imagine like what the God of War reboot was, like the God of War series? Like, imagine a KOTOR to like the KOTOR series, which is kind of insane because KOTOR 1 and 2 were so fucking good. It's not saying the God of War games weren't good, but it's like you ask anyone,
it's
like,
different. It's different.
Yeah,
it's very different.
I mean, yeah.
So what are some things about KOTOR 1 and 2, either or, that you don't want to see in a new KOTOR? Like, what are some of the problems you saw with the games?
It needs more Pazak.
Pure Pazak. No, I'm out, dude. No Pazak.
No, I mean, I guess it's part of the KOTOR charm, but it's like, maybe don't have the beginning parts of the game be such a fucking drudge. Like,
yeah, okay.
Both games have like, they're great games, but they have the slowest burn to a start that it's like, I've had so many people be like, do play KOTOR, it's a good game, and they start playing and they just stop because like, I couldn't get into it. And it's like, well, you kind of have to. It's kind of stupid that it's like the barrier of entry is so fucking long.
Yeah, I agree with that. for me, I was so into those games because of the story. And of course, I know as an RPG, turn-based RPG, by definition, the combat followed a turn style. But sometimes the combat would really irritate me.
Like when you'd keep getting like force stunned and you're just like frozen. They're just like,
or even worse, when you're like point blank fighting some random thug, and then it's like, miss. Yeah, see, you already know what I was gonna say. Miss. So I mean, I'm hoping that it'd be interesting to see if they stay with the turn-based style combat system.
I mean, my like going back to that turn-based combat and like missing stuff. Like, do you ever play Elder Scrolls 3?
Morrowind?
Yeah.
I played a total of like maybe 5 hours.
It had that miss mechanic in it a lot, to where it's like you'd literally be in someone's guts and you'd be like, and it was like maybe 3 of them would hit out of like 10, and it's like nice. But I mean, that it's annoying, but at the same time, like that's kind of like the whole like, maybe if it didn't say miss, maybe if it said like block, because it's like that's kind of like the whole like check where it's like, is your skill higher than them? Like your chance to hit is higher.
Yeah, the dice rolls.
So it's like maybe instead of saying miss, which is like feels stupid, maybe be like blocked.
Yeah, or just something. That was my only visual. It was kind of jarring sometimes when you'd be like in the middle of combat and then miss, and all the character did was like barely lean side to side.
Yeah, just the lean back. That was always my favorite.
Yeah, and one thing I am concerned about though with KOTOR, if it is true, what studio's going to make it? Because I know they're also EA's busy rebooting Dragon Age, and I know that's much further along in the pipeline than KOTOR.
And they got didn't they get the go ahead to make a Fallen Order 2? I thought I had
read
sure somewhere that
did.
there's a Fallen Order 2, like it got the go ahead.
I'm sure they did. So I'm just concerned about what studio is going to make it.
EA is like the only game studio that has rights to Star Wars games.
But I mean like of their subsidiaries.
BioWare.
I hope so, but BioWare is also the maker of Dragon Age
and Mass Effect.
Yeah, so how
it's like look how good Mass Effect has been in recent days, and Dragon Age. Like BioWare started off high and then they just jumped off the cliff.
I wish they'd stayed independent.
Dude, Dragon Age was so good. Like the first one, Dragon Age Origins, that was a good.
That was a classic good game. The second one was pretty bad, but Inquisition was also a solid game. I had a good time with that.
I never even played Inquisition.
You should get it next time it's on sale.
I might. It might be on Game Pass. I don't know. I'll have to see. But yeah, I hope one thing that they take from KOTOR is I loved in KOTOR 2. Nice. You're depending on what you would do, your characters would start to be influenced by it too.
That was very cool in 2.
Because it was really annoying in 1 when you want to be like, because the only real Jedi allies you had were like all light side allies. Spoilers, I don't give a shit. If you haven't played it at this point, that's your loss. But it's like, other than Jolee, it's like Basila's light side, like Juhani's light side, Jolie's gray. And it's like, if you want to try and do a dark side, of course you have the Jedi's following you. And then it's just every time you're like, give me more money, your allies like, I don't think we should do that. But it's like in KOTOR 2, it's
except for Meatbag.
I love Meatbag or HK-47. But like in KOTOR 2, it's like you could have a light side ally, and if you keep them with you long enough being a dick, they'll eventually start suggesting, like, they'll be like, hey, get more money from that guy. Like, we saved his ass. And it's like, okay.
And I don't remember his name, but I know that they would physically start changing too if you were really bad. They would.
Yeah. I liked
looking crusty.
My favorite part in KOTOR 2 was on like when you're on like the first planet, like after the mining thing, when you could just tell those two dumbasses just jump off the fucking edge of the platform and kill themselves. It's just like, wow, like literally into the game. It's like, hey, jump off and kill yourself, and they're like, okay, if you roll the check right. But it's just like, hey, what a great intro to the game of how much of a dickhead you can be.
But I'm my fingers are crossed that this is true. You know, I'm pretty confident that, I mean, there's so much of the gaming community that's talking about it. And I feel like it's pretty solid.
Yeah, there's gonna be a decent amount of Star Wars talk on this episode, so bear with us. We'll try and keep it as like minimal as we can, but we're both big fans, so of course. You know what? On that note, let's just get all the Star Wars.
Yeah, let's cover the movie. So, what you think?
Well,
although spoiler.
Yeah, you know what? Well, okay, this actually is something that got me really hyped. Not necessarily in the movie, but like, you know, like the Star Wars Visual Dictionary.
Yes.
Did you see that in the dictionary, Revan is now canon?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, so they were showing like different Sith garrisons or troops or whatever, and one of them was called like the Revan Legion. So it's like people are like, he's canon now because he was always just part of like the legend. So people are like, hey, like he's good to go. So I'm holding out a slim sliver of hope that we'll get like a Revan or a like series or movie or something, because Revan's so fucking cool.
That'd be badass.
Doubt it'll happen, but yeah. Anyway, back to the movie. I mean, oh god, especially too with the movie, like the whole have you heard like there's like the whole like release the JJ cut, like the cut that was shown in theaters like was not what JJ Abrams initially wanted. And then Colin Trevorrow, like the guy who did Jurassic World, he was initially going to produce it, and it was going to be called Episode 9 Duel of the Fates.
That's already a better name.
And like they were showing some concept art, and there was like concept art where like Kylo Ren fights like a Force ghost of Vader, like how Luke did. And then like it showed Rey had a double-bladed lightsaber, which would be really cool to see again. And there it went back to Coruscant, like there was a big set piece on Coruscant, so I'm like, fuck, like this could have been a badass movie.
Yeah, I mean, I felt
way off topic. Sorry, you like this? Did you see that it's canon that Nia Num died in the Battle of Exegol?
Oh, that makes me happy, man.
I had a feeling you would. Yeah, I mean, even though like. So, like, in the movie, you can see a ship. I forget what it's called. You can see a ship in the background, like, land. But then, like, one of the producers is like, yeah, he died. So it's like, people are like, well, which the fuck is it? So, but.
Shit, somehow a hero in Battlefront. All right.
Did you like that?
Oh, man. Overall, I mean, I thought the movie was okay. It was good. It was good. I liked it.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely had like answers like where did Palpatine come from again? Like they kind of left that very vague, where it's just like it's like how is he alive? It's like the dark side does.
Some consider it to be unnatural.
And it's like, so how are you here?
Unnatural.
I did like though. I mean, like the movie did have like its cheesy moments where it's just like eye rolls, but like, dude, the part when Palpatine launched the fucking storm in the air into the whole fucking battle, I was like, that might be one of the coolest things. What did you think about like the whole? This is where I saw a lot of people were kind of like, what the hell? The whole like Reylo, like Rey Ben Solo like kissing or whatever, where a lot of people were just like, yeah. I don't know if you saw on Twitter, but fuck, what's his name? The guy who plays Finn. John Boyega, he was like going off on people on Twitter. It's like, I guess like he's done with the movies, like he doesn't care, but it's like he was kind of like getting pissed at like the whole Reylo bullshit. And I was like, yeah, you know what? The Star Wars community is such a fucking toxic shithole.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of either the actor or the actress, but ultimately I feel like they did a good job of creating like on-screen tension. All three movies, they did a good job with each other.
I like that on Driver. I thought he did I thought he played a really good villain.
The first time I watched the first of the new trilogy, I hated him. But then when I rewatched it, I started to like him more because I realized that is the character.
Yeah,
he's a little more wild.
Yeah, I was actually kind of the same way. Like I watched it, I'm like, this guy's just a fucking little bitch.
Pussy bitch.
And then like as I started going on, I'm like, no, he's like wildly unstable, and it's like that's part of his like deal.
Yeah, that is his deal.
I did like in the first movie, like when he was first introduced, like Poe went to shoot him and he just stops the bullet in midair. I was like, okay, like that's a pretty solid move.
But I mean, I think ultimately I would have liked to see more happen between them in terms of.
What about Babu Frick? Fucking dumbass alien.
Big ass hair all over his face.
Ugh.
All right, nice.
And then, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to see something a little more creative come out of their characters, because they hinted first off that Rey was going to kind of go to the dark side, and they were hinting the whole time that we knew that Kylo Ren was trending back towards the light. I would have liked to see a little more tension come out of that.
Yeah, they played with the idea of like Grey Jedi a little bit more, but not enough to where they brought it to light. I mean, I liked it. And overall, I enjoyed it more than I disliked it. And it's like, I'm not.
Yeah, I agree. I enjoyed it more than I disliked it.
I'm not a severe movie critic. If it entertains me, I'm fine.
Agreed.
And then, so that's our take about the movie. And then I just wanted to touch on, I started playing Fallen Order. That game's pretty cool.
I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about it.
I enjoy it. And then I started playing Battlefront 2 again because it was on sale on PC. And it's like they've updated that game so much from what it was when it first came out. Like they're definitely trying to keep that game alive as best they can. So it's like I got to give them props for that. Nice. It's still difficult as fuck though, because everyone's been playing for so long that like
I'm
their
terrible.
star cards are max the fuck out. So it's like you're kind of just going up against like this dude with extra firepower and shields, and it's like fuck.
You're just going against guys that are just fully bloated.
Yeah, just
Bloat Lord.
yeah, just that's all we're gonna say. Bloat Lord, typing it on YouTube. You can come back and thank us later. I hope it picked that up. So
Well, I think that's a good amount of Star Wars.
yeah, we'll fuck off with Star Wars for now. Thanks for sticking through it.
Let's talk about some Overwatch, man.
Oh shit.
They've put a lot of patches out here over the past couple of weeks, past month and a half, 2 months, where they've really changed the game. And the community so far, in my opinion, doesn't seem very happy with all the changes, myself included. I don't know how much you've been involved. I know we played some games not too long ago.
I played those 5 placements with you and Zach, and that's the only Overwatch I've played since probably like our first episode because I did my placements. We lost 4 out of 5, and then like I ranked lower than I've ever been ranked and got pissed.
I mean, the game's changed a lot since you've played it, to be honest. And like the community's not very happy. The community's really worried about what they're calling, and I might be misquoting it, but something along the lines of hero strength creep, where what that means is you have all the original heroes, and then you're adding these new heroes.
That are way too powerful.
Yes,
Yep.
and then rather than nerfing these new heroes, you're buffing the older heroes to where all these heroes are just getting stronger and stronger and stronger.
So when are like Soldier and Pharah and Tracer going to get buffed?
Good question. All I know is that as a tank main, they lowered the shield
Oh yeah,
strength.
Ryan got dick, didn't he?
Yeah, it makes no sense. Like, all right, I got to vent about it for a second here. So they took Orisa, Sigma, and Ryan shields all down. Which
I didn't even know Sigma really had a shield, so that's news
yeah,
to me.
he had like I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head because I don't play Sigma, but it's a decent shield.
Oh, it was like the one that he could like kind of throw out,
he
right?
could pull it in, pull it back, and throw it somewhere else.
Yeah, you're right. I remember that now. Sorry.
So I can understand in Orisa, she's got a lot of other skills that she can do. She can influence the game with her gun, her armor, her ball, where she can suck.
Yeah.
And like, I don't understand why they had to lower Ryan's shield by 400. So it went from 2,000 to 1,600. That's his thing, is having a shield and walking and getting close. That's his thing.
Yeah, he's like the shield hero.
Why did they lower his shield? Like, you can hear me. I'm getting pissed. I'm getting pissed. Like,
My mic's picking up how pissed.
fuck!
Holy shit. But yeah, I've noticed that too. And it's like, granted, I'm biased because it's like I play Soldier, Pharah, Tracer, Mei. I bounce around a lot of DPS.
Fuck Mei. And
it's
fuck
like,
everybody who plays Mei. You can fuck off.
but like, even like Soldier, it's like they got like he got one buff a long time ago where like his bullets did 1 damage each, right?
They made his
And they made it spread a little bit.
they lowered his spread, and they made, I think, his distance, like the damage drop across distance, go down. So like his bullets still did a lot of damage.
Yeah, and then it's like, I don't know if just Tracer even had anything happen to her since
Not
the
really.
game came out. Because it's like, I feel like Tracer would be,
I mean, they just keep adding heroes and
give her like 25 more health or 50 more health. Like, get
no,
her up.
she's nasty. Tracer's nasty.
Maybe I'm just a bad fucking Tracer
she's
then.
nasty.
But it's like, even her ult, it's like,
Her ult could use something. I'll give you that.
It's like the
It's pretty
only
easy to dodge.
yeah, I mean, like her ult, it's easy to like maybe make it to where it's like she can like charge how hard or far she throws it. Because it's like she just like throws it a foot in front of her and it's like, hee 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 hee.
Yeah, and if you throw it on a tank, they're not going to die.
Exactly.
It's
but
like, I love when I get ulted by Tracer as a tank, especially Roadhog. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to use my health.
Yeah, and then it's like Soldier and Pharah's ults can like single-handedly squad wipe. The only way Tracer can do that is if it's like a Graviton and the team's already weak.
And,
it's like,
and there's
it's
no shield.
And it's very situational. Like it's that instance will rarely happen.
Agreed.
But yeah, I mean, like I said,
I just feel like the game is getting so DPS focused, where like they decreased all the shields for the tanks because DPS was having too much trouble getting through the shields, and it's like, how is that everybody's fault?
have they touched supports at all?
It's smaller things. They lowered Baptiste's, his I forget what it's called, where he drops it and you can't die when you're in it. They lowered it from 7 to 5 seconds. And I think that's a reasonable change for him because that thing was nasty when he'd throw it around a corner and you can't see it, and so you can't kill anybody.
Oh,
that was nasty.
Yeah, that would be annoying as fuck.
They lowered that, which I thought was reasonable. But for the most part, most supports are pretty static. They nerfed all the tanks, makes no sense, and the DPS are still just chucking damage. And like, the game's broken though. If you want to play a tank, they're like, it's a less than 2 minute wait. You want to play support? Less than 2-minute wait. Oh, you want to play DPS? It's like a 10+ minute wait. The game is broken if that's a thing.
Yeah, I remember because even like when I was playing with you, it's like I'm a DPS queue, so it's like we'd be sitting there for like 10 minutes. And it's like we'd play like a full fucking like, or we'd play like in the warm up, whatever it's called. And it's like we'd see squads come and go.
I am glad that they added
come and go, and then it's like finally we join. It's like, all right, good one.
Yeah, I mean, and as somebody who still plays the game, that community is still such shit.
Man. Yeah, I did like every time we got on Overwatch, all it took was like someone just to be that guy who got mad at me because like he was like, "Why aren't you using your ult?" And I was like, "Well, I just got it." And it's like I'd already used one ult, but he was like, "Look, you just got your first ult, you fucking suck." And it's like, well, I used mine like earlier, like right off the bat because I did a lot of damage, and like I was just waiting for a good time to use this. And he was just like, "But you fucking, I got my ult." And I just got pissed at him. And I was like, man, I can't wait to see you in the Overwatch League.
That's my favorite thing to throw around when somebody's like, "You suck." I'm like, well, we're the same SR, so you suck.
Yeah. So
in the words of Bill O'Brien, you suck too. Fuck you.
Yeah. Every time someone just starts like getting mad at me and they're just like, "Man, you fucking suck." I'm like, man, like I remember seeing your name like on like the fucking national championship on Twitch. Like you did so good. Like you stupid fuck. I placed 1800, so it's like this is a community that's like telling me I suck and that they're so good, and it's like nice.
I mean, I know I bash on Overwatch a lot. It is still fun to play like with friends. It is still fun if you got a 4+ stack. It's still fun.
I have fun, but I also get mad because I'm just like, Jesus fuck, we get steamrolled sometimes. Like I'm a very big into like more arena style shooters where it's like
I hate arena style shooters.
It's like I love arena, like I love equal playing grounds, like static characters, static weapons. Versus Overwatch, it's like someone with worse gunplay can win by better like team comp or like positioning, and I'm like, exactly. Man, like I like the gunplay aspect of it because it's like I'll be fine with gunplay, but it's like I'll like flank and I'll be like, man, I'm set, and then it's like one character can single-handedly break my entire plan. I'm like, man, fuck.
May, you mean May?
I like playing May.
Dude, fuck May.
May was like my go-to. It's like if I'm having a bad mood, I switch to May because I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna ruin everyone else's day, especially on Hanamura. Like
I hate that match.
Choke at the gate.
I
Someone
hate
just
point
walks
caps.
through.
I hate point caps.
I
like much prefer payload.
See, I don't like payload
because I'm a tank main. I love payload.
Yeah. The DPS, it's like I like everyone just at one spot because it's like, all right, easy picking for me. But yeah, that's about all I can say. Dude, there's a bug on my monitor.
That's some good Overwatch updates. Move on. You want to talk a little about Game Pass?
Yeah, so I'm just going to touch on this for a little bit. This is going to kind of be me shilling a little bit, but my Xbox Live ran out. And I was like, you know what? Let me try Game Pass because it's like first 3 months for $1. And I haven't even gone through 3 months, but it's like Xbox kind of nailed it like out of the park with Game Pass. Like,
in what way? What do you mean?
So it's like 15 a month, and it's Game Pass for Xbox, PC, and Xbox Live Gold. So it's like for $15 a month, you can play any game on the Game Pass library, which has a good amount. Pretty much any first-party Microsoft games on there, plus lots of other ones.
What about Brute Force?
If they do have some backwards compatible games, but not that one. They have Fusion Frenzy, which I was like, oh shit. But it's like,
then I'm out.
But I mean, like for $15 a month, and like they rotate a lot of games. So it's like I've been playing like Devil May Cry, I did Human Fall Flat. I got my buddies on World War Z. Like we're playing a lot of games, and I'm like, you know what? For $15 a month, like this is nice. But it's been a I just want to talk about in the sense that it's like I still like buying games physically, like actually buying the games themselves. But it's like subscription services like this are kind of cool. Like I know PlayStation has PlayStation Now, but like that's like game streaming. Like this is like you don't own the game, but you actually download it. So it's like you have the actual copy of the game. So it's cool.
I do not have it, and I don't have PlayStation Now either.
I mean, if you have the funds to do it, I mean, maybe at least do it for like the 3 months for $1. Like
I might check it out.
And I think too, like whatever Xbox Live Gold you have, like when you do it, it rolls your remaining gold over into it. So it's like I don't remember if it takes off price or just extends your gold, but it's like it's not like you lose whatever gold you have remaining. Like it'll keep it and roll it into it. But I enjoyed it, and like I said, if you want to play some of your shit on PC, it's like you can just download it to your PC too. But
so, do they ever have on Game Pass? So, say Halo 6 came out tomorrow, would that be on Game Pass because it's a?
Yes, Microsoft games come out on Game Pass day one.
So you wouldn't have to pay the $60 for the game.
Nope,
because you're already on Game Pass.
Yep, if you have it on Game Pass, you have it.
Okay, I can see the appeal.
Yeah, so it's like Forza, Gears, Minecraft, like all these Microsoft games. It's like, I mean, Minecraft's not Microsoft, but it's like the most popular game, so of course it's on there. Only thing it doesn't have on there, it doesn't have the Call of Duties, which is probably like some exclusivity thing with Sony or whatever. It's like, I feel like if they had the Call of Duties, that would be a huge boost for Microsoft. But I like it. It's been cool. Like I said, I'm using it to play more single player games that I wouldn't go out and normally buy because I'm losing money playing it, beating it, and then just selling it. So it's like I'm using it for mostly single players. Nice. And then some games, like multiplayer games, like they have Monster Hunter on there. It's like I always wanted to play Monster Hunter, so I'm going to give it a go now.
I mean, I feel like that's probably the future of games.
Yeah, I don't want them to do Stadia and like PS Now where it's streaming.
Wait. How do you feel about Stadia?
I still don't like it.
Tell me about it.
It sucks. We talked about this already. Stadia is a piece of fucking ass. Like, you notice how no one talks about that shit anymore?
That's true. It sounds like it's a piece of shit. And the only commentary I've heard around
Google.
it. What?
Google. We're gamers at Google. Search engine jackass.
The only commentary I've heard around it is similar to what we talked about, which is the concept is great, but just not ready. Technology, the hardware's not there.
Not there yet.
Great idea, though. It's probably is the future, but we're not ready. We're not there.
Yeah, Game Pass and services like that are
makes more sense for now.
Yeah. Like, stick with subscription services like that. Let's perfect our hardware and infrastructure before we start doing streaming. We're live, but fuck it. Yeah, fuck streaming. Anyway.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, we'll get there one day.
One day, but not today.
So tell me like some of the things you saw at PAX that you really liked.
So I mean, they have some cool, like it's not like E3 where it's like all these big AAA titles. Like they had the Tiny Build booth always kills it.
Was it totally packed?
It was pretty. I mean, so they actually expanded the convention hall, so like it was packed, but still had like a lot of breathing room, which was nice.
I was gonna say, I remember the first few years they did it in San Antonio that I would look at tickets and they'd be sold out, but like this past year, even like the week before, they still had 2-day passes. They had everything available.
Yeah, so it's like part of me was like, I mean, maybe they were able to sell more because, like I said, the convention hall is bigger now, but I had a theory that they were trying to weed out PAX South because PAX East is less than a month away after PAX South. And I'm like, that's kind of weird to have two huge conventions.
But it's a totally different, like, geography.
But it's like, that's a lot of setup and coordination to do in a month, like, after taking one down. But I don't know. I mean, it was fun, though. It's San Antonio. I think San Antonio is a good city for conventions.
So you think they're going to get rid of PAX South in the next handful of years?
This one, it had a good turnout, and they had, like, a lot of big people there, so it's like, I don't think they will, but it just, or, like, maybe they won't take it as seriously, because it was, like, the fact that they're putting two within a month of each other, I'm like, that's weird, because, like, they don't even do, like, Comic-Cons that close together, but I don't know, but, so, like, there were a bunch of cool little indie games and stuff, looking around, and then, like, but I actually went there, we met up with some friends, and they're big into the board game, so, like, I actually went there with more of a board game focus.
Fuck yeah. So much better than games. Board games are so much better than video games.
The only thing that's I don't like about board games is the learning curve.
I mean, you just watch a YouTube video.
Yeah, see, it's but when you're at a convention hall and like the developers are explaining it to you, you have to like if they're good at explaining it, cool. If they kind of suck at it, it's like fuck you, dude.
Your game sucks and you suck.
But the games that we got like this drinking game called Drinking with Frenemies. Like not really a board game, drinking. We're playing that shit tonight, boy.
I just cracked another beer.
We got a Joking Hazard expansion. I got this game. They only had, when I went, they only had 5 left in stock. We went on the last day. It's this game called Fire Tower. And so, like, it's essentially like 4 players. You're on a map or like on a board, like in each corner. And then in the middle, there's a fire. And you play like attack cards. So it's like winds are blowing north-northeast at a fire spread of like a square shape or like a diamond shape. So it's like you put the fires down and they can have like defenses where it's like cleared land, so it kind of stops the fire at one spot, or like the wind shift and you're essentially trying to burn the other players down before you do. Very simple game, like easy to learn, hard to master, like kind of game. I watched them in the time that the woman explained the game, the people at the table had already finished. So I was like, it's a 15-minute game. I was like, this looks fun. Like, it looks like something where it's like, the more you play, you can kind of see how to better do it. Another game we didn't buy, we almost did, was this game called Nexus Infernum. And it's like, that game's kind of cool. It was like you're like necromancers summoning spirits, and there's like you pay coins, and it's like you're essentially trying to summon more powerful spirits and earn like these tokens. And it's like, I don't know how to describe it without, I don't want to sit here and make a whole podcast about it, but you're essentially, you have like 6 summons, and you're trying to battle the other people for like control of the board and tokens to buy the more powerful summons. So it's like, you could play it strategically, like playing a very offensive game, just trying to knock people out, or play like very safe and defensive and try and hoard shit, but like you don't have the attack power. So it seems like a game where it's like you could play it very dynamically.
So when you are exploring and looking at potential new board games, for you, what are the things that draw you into a game? For example, like for me,
as dumb as this sounds, artwork. Like if I walk by a table and I'm like, this artwork looks cool, that's the first thing like that pulls me into the game, is a cool artwork.
Okay. For me, it's I want a game that sets the theme.
Nexus Infernum did a good job of setting a theme.
I love a game that it's like, there's a theme to this game, and the people you're playing with embrace it. I love a theme.
Yeah. I see Nexus being a game like that. There was another game we played. They didn't have it in stock. They sold out. But it's a game called Paranormal Detectives.
I'm already in.
And it's like...
I'm already in.
It's so hard, though. Because it's
like, I'm already in, man.
It's fun. It's at Barnes & Noble. We're going to try and go buy it if they have it in stock. But it's like you're essentially detectives, and it's like you have a board, and it's like a dead body, and they put injury points on it. And it shows like how they died. And it's like... You ask questions, and they can't be yes or no questions, but you have cards. Like, one person's the ghost of the person who died. And it's like, you have a card, and it's the who, the what, the where, the why, and the when. So, like, you need to answer those 5 questions. So, it's like you have certain cards that have certain abilities. So, I could be like, who murdered you? And play a card that says, the ghost can use your hand to draw who murdered them, but they can't lift their hand off the board. So it's like they draw, and it's like, okay, that's who. Or you could be like, when were you murdered? Or like, what was the murder weapon? And play something where it's like they have a wire, and they have to like craft it into the shape of like the murder weapon. So it's like, it's very open-ended questions. And then if you're like, I'd like to guess, and you'd be like, your friend killed you at night because you cheated at a game and he shot you out of anger, and he'd go around and look at it, and he'll just mark a number, like how many of those, like the who, what, when, where, and why are right. He won't tell you which ones are, but let's say you had 2 of the things right, he'll just write a number 2 on your board, and then he'll go around to everyone else and write them too. So it's like you can either work together trying to figure out, hey, which things are right, but it's all in all, it's a one person wins the game. It was fun. It's definitely like, it forces you to kind of think how you want to ask your questions to get the answer you want. And it definitely, like, we sat down and played a demo game, and we were immediately like, this is awesome. We were hooked. And then we rented a board game. We didn't play it, but it was a game called Anomaly. It looked cool because of the artwork, but we never played it.
Nice.
But it looked very complicated. So we're like, fuck this.
Yeah, sometimes you get stuck with a game like that.
We got this fucking kitchen game that one of our friends rented. It's like, bro, like the setup took forever. And we're like, what the fuck is this? Like, and it was like all like kid artwork and stuff. We're like, oh, it's gonna be easy game. And it's like, dude, there's like 10 different stations you have to set up, and you have 2 hourglasses for. I was like, man, fuck this game. We just put it back.
Yeah, that does not sound very fun to me.
I did see some people rent Secret Hitler though, and I was just like, good on them.
It's a classic game.
But I heard a surprising lack of yelling at the venue. Of
then they don't know how to fucking play the game.
That's pretty much what I thought. I'm like, man, they're not playing Secret Hitler right if it's quiet.
Yeah, if you're not yelling and like threatening to kill somebody.
But yeah, those games were cool. There were other games there that we got that Neckbeard game, which looks fun.
Also going to try to play that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. They have so many games that it's very hard to follow. They have Dungeons and Dragons, obviously. One of the coolest booths they have is this booth. It's this company called Wormwood, and like they don't
Westwood Studios.
Yes.
Red Alert 2.
What a good game. Command and Conquers.
Yes.
Bring that back. I'm surprised that series fizzled out.
What about those cutscenes?
Oh, God. The, like 90s, like live action, low quality cutscenes.
You have the shitty Russian accents if you were the Soviet.
Oh my God.
We must stop them. And then when you're the allies or whatever they were, they'd be like, we have to stop them.
We're gonna watch a video after this. No, but like there's this company. It's called Wormwood, and they make like accessories like dice for like Dungeons and Dragons, like really nice dice or like card holders. But they also make like game tables, and like these are like nice ass game tables. But I mean, I'll never use it, but it's so cool to go past their booth.
So I know something people complain about a lot about PAX, at least I've seen, is that you spend so much time there just waiting in lines. How do you feel about that?
There's a lot of lines. They've gotten better over the year. Like the first couple years I went, it sucked. But it's like the booths are getting like so much bigger to where they have so many more stations active that there is still a line, yes, but it seems like it moves through a lot faster. Because like even the Tiny Build booth, which is always the most popular booth, I didn't see a line longer than like a few people outside of the actual floor of it. So I was like, okay, but they also had like 20, 30 stations set up.
Why is that booth the most popular?
I don't know. They make this game called Hello Neighbor. It's like
Hello Neighbor.
It's probably one of their most popular games. They had a fuckload of people
You look
playing.
very good, neighbor.
Oh, you know what? You know what game also had a little booth there, or like the developers did?
Doom.
No,
Oh.
people who made Road Redemption. There was a Road Redemption.
Man.
There was a Road Redemption booth set up there. I was like,
I don't know, man. You know, Road Rash 64, that's one of my favorite games of all time. But like Road Redemption, like I have it. I like it. I've got like, double-digit hours on Steam in it. Something about it, man. It's just missing that magic. And I don't know if what made Road Rash 64 so good was the fact that it looked like shit, even in its time. Like if you look up reviews of Road Rash 64, people are complaining like, how can a game look this bad?
yeah.
But like there's something just so beautiful about it. And
It's like the perfect video game.
yeah, and then like Road Redemption, like I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's the nice graphics throwing me off and being like, oh, this is a real game now. Therefore, it's less good. But something about it, man. It's fun, but it's nowhere near
Yeah.
64 for me.
Yeah. You'll have to come to PAX with us one year. I think you'd like it, especially the board game section. I feel like and even they have like a
Can I fight someone?
Probably.
All right, I'm in. I'll bloat on him.
Yeah, what is it? You gotta live it.
You gotta live it.
Okay, so you said you want to talk about a book series, which is something
Yeah,
new on this podcast.
and I don't think I mentioned
it actually reads.
Yes, I don't remember if I mentioned on it in either of our prior two casts, but I highly recommend this high fantasy series called the Stormlight Archives to anybody out there. I'm on book 3 right now. It's awesome. Give it a chance. It's written by Brandon Sanderson, who is the person who finished the Wheel of Time series, if anybody's heard of that. He's the author that came in and finished it. Really good. I highly recommend it. The audiobook's great. It's really long. Each book is like 1,300 pages.
Jesus.
But it's so good. There's a 0% chance you won't like it. Just
Yeah.
Google it. Just look it up on Amazon. Look at the amount of reviews and how positive they are. That's all I got to say about it. It's awesome.
Okay, I'll have to look into it. I might audiobook it because I have
You
like.
should audiobook it. It's
'cause I
great.
have like. Are they on Audible?
Yeah, they're on Audible. All
Yeah,
three of them.
Casey gets like free credits with Audible. I
Yeah,
might just
you
be like,
should-
hey, let me use one for this book.
And they're an extremely good value because they're like 55 hours.
Yeah.
And most books are like 8.
Yeah. Okay, I'll have to look into it then for sure.
Definitely check it out. Highly recommend the series.
All right, so there are also a couple games you wanted to talk about too.
Yeah, so did you get anything fun over the winter sales, since we haven't talked really since then about games and stuff? Because I picked up Executive Assault 2, Totally Realistic Battle Simulator.
So I downloaded that with Game Pass. Probably, I mean, I talked about how I got like Battlefront 2, Fallen Order. In terms of like fun, silly games, I got on Game Pass. They have this game called Human Fall Flat. It's kind of fun. I feel like if you got it, if we got drunk and played that game, like we'd probably have a really good time because it's just like really shitty physics, but it's like you're trying to get to like across a level, but it's like the only thing you can do is like jump and grab with your hands. So it's like it's like a really bad physics simulator, kind of like how Totally Realistic Battle Simulator is just a goofy battle simulator.
Yeah. And then I also got Sea of Thieves. Have you heard of that?
That's on Battle Pass, and I've debated if I want
You
to
should get
that or
it. You
not.
should get it. I think I can play with you even on PC. Because
Yeah,
I have to run it through the Xbox app.
Well, worst case scenario, I have the Game Pass Ultimate, so it's like I'll just download it on PC then.
I mean, it's kind of unique. It's fun.
I've heard mixed reviews on it.
I've had a good time.
I mean, I've heard people like I read stories of
unique.
people who like pillage other people's ships or like they like squat up with them only to like turn them over to their friends on the same server. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's fucked
It's
up.
pretty dirty out there. And like I've only played, probably 5 to 7 hours of it. And I've already got a situation where like I ran into like, I was playing with my brother and we ran into people who are clearly much further in the game than us. And they were really nice to us. They like, chilled with us, hung out. And then like my brother distracted them and I just swam over to their boat and just threw a fuckload of fire bombs all over their boat. The boat just fucking sunk. And then we just sailed away.
Holy shit, dude. They're going to be out for you.
I mean, that's the thing, though. Every time I boot back in, I'm on a different server.
Okay.
There's like I probably never see them again.
That's pretty funny, though.
It was fun.
Everyone just like, yeah, bro. They're like, what the fuck or shit?
Yeah, they turn around.
Drive off, bitch.
Their boat's just on fire. So they like ran back to go put out the fire, and we just sailed away. So like little things like that are so unique. Like that's fun. That's fun.
That's a good selling point. Like that made me be like, okay, I kind of want to play this game now.
Yeah, you can.
And it's like I said, all of my friends got Battle Pass too. Like Scott got it, Andy got it. So it's like,
with my healer.
With my healer.
With my weak ass bitch Jeep.
Jesus. Yeah. So.
But yeah, so Executive Assault 2, I definitely want to talk about that. So I don't know if you've heard of it. Have you heard of it?
Nope.
So it's this game where obviously there's an Executive Assault 1. And so what makes it unique, it's like a space sim where you build a base, you build ships, and you go and like conquer other systems, blah, blah, blah.
Like, is it like a Solaris or?
Yes, but here's the catch. At any time in the game, you can go into first person and take control of any ship you have, any ground unit you have. So you can literally build this station and then run around in it. So it's still in, I think it's in alpha right now.
That sounds kind of cool, though.
It's really cool. Like, it's so unique. And I even played online where I have no clue what I'm doing. And, like, I even told the guy whose team I was on, we're like, dude, I got no idea what I'm doing. And he was like, it doesn't matter. And he, like, just told me, you just jump in this ship, you take control of it, and, you just go with my other ships that I'm controlling. Like, that's so unique.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like he's controlling him from like an RTS perspective while you're just flying around.
And I have one of them.
Like,
yeah, I have one of them. And you're in first person. And then, like, you can board the enemy space station and go into a first person with a gun and stuff.
That sounds like Battlefront, but like more
It's pretty cool.
depth.
I mean, it's got a lot of work to be done, but I highly recommend it. It's really unique. Cool.
I'll have to look into it. It's on Steam? I'll have to look into it.
I sneezed. Yes, it's on Steam.
Fuck.
Check it out. Get it on sale. I got it for like less than $20. Super cool.
Do we need to play Hunt again? Oh, speaking of new game, they announced this at the Game Awards. I literally never even texted you, or I might have texted you back.
What an idiot.
They're making a new Forest game. You like that?
I mean, that game was scary as shit.
They're making a new, I
can't imagine that game in VR, and it's in VR. On PC, it's on VR.
Nope, I'm good. Naked fucking.
That's intense.
Oh my god! But yeah, I remember seeing it, and I was like, "Fuck!" I was like, Spencer will lose his mind if he sees there's another Forest game coming out.
That's a spoiler.
Hunt Showdown.
Hunt is a cool game for people out there. It's a good game to play with like a friend.
We need to play that game again.
Yeah, I played with my brother. We got some wins actually.
We've had a couple wins too. It's just And then what was this other game you want to talk about? Vampire. I've actually heard about this game.
So Vampire, like the reviews on Steam are decent. I need to pick it up next time. Decent. But next time there's a sale, I'll probably grab it. It just seems like unique. It's set in like, I think it's the early 1900s, and you play as a vampire. It's like the environment, again, the theme is very, very strong. And it just sounds cool. It sounds unique, like a cool experience that it's different.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm interested in that for sure.
I remember hearing it was a pretty interesting game. So
yeah,
if you try it, let me know how it is. And it's because, like I said, I'm still playing like my Halos and Call of Duties, but it's like I'm trying to get back more into like single player games, like story driven games. Okay. So it's like if it's a good one, let me know because I want to branch back into that kind of game.
Okay. And then
I'm keeping that shit in.
Nice. He's a cool guy. He's a father. He's a cool guy. So have you beaten any single player games recently?
I can't say that I have, no, because I'm bouncing back between like Devil May Cry, KOTOR, Fallen Order, and I want to replay. Like I don't want to. Like I want to replay some old games, and it's like I've been meaning to play Jurassic World Evolution just because they've been putting out so much DLC. And I've invested time in that, so I'm like I just kind of want to beat it.
What an idiot!
Fuck you, then. Yeah, no.
I beat Astrobot on PSVR.
Nice. What fuck.
Sick.
Nice. Did you see the
badass?
Holy shit. Speaking of story-driven games, actually, I'm gonna give. I know it's an older game, but I'm gonna give Hellblade. There's people here, by the way. I'm gonna give. Have you heard that game Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice?
I Actually, I don't think so.
It's like the cover's like this girl with like blue paint on her face. She has like kind of like dreads in her hair. It's like a game about like schizophrenia or whatever. Like it studies the themes of that.
So this is the game that at my game night I was at this week. This is the game they were telling me to get for PSVR. They had it for flat, and they said it's on PSVR. And so this is the one they're telling me about. They're like, it's schizophrenia, and like there's sounds all around you, and it sounds awful in VR.
That's not the newest because Hellblade is.
What am I thinking of? I'm pretty sure. Hang on, I'll pull it up on my phone.
No, I know what you're talking about because Hellblade, I believe, is an Xbox only game, and Xbox and PC only game.
What am I thinking of?
Fuck, I know what you're talking about because I actually
I just heard schizophrenia, and it made me think of it. Here, I can pull it up. I got it right here.
Oh shit! It is on PS4. Idiot. And it's VR.
Fucking dumbass. They said it was. I haven't actually looked for it.
No, it's not. It's not VR.
So I'm not sure if it's for PSVR. I think I mean I don't know. My friends are telling me to get it. If it is, I'll get it.
Yeah, no, but because the new one, they announced a new one for the Xbox One X, and then they announced like a new game for PS5 called Godfall, and like the trailer looked cool. But I can't wait for E3 when they start showing next gen games, mostly Halo. Which way off topic before we end the podcast, how do you feel that like Halo's coming out this year and we still haven't seen anything more than like that first trailer we saw last E3? Like we haven't seen shit for gameplay, we haven't seen any like concept art, any more videos. Like that's, to me, that's kind of unnerving because it's like we're less than a year out and we're still in the dark. Like what game does that nowadays?
I was gonna say, in my experience in my day-to-day job, when somebody does that, when a company does that, that's not good.
That's what a lot of the whole Halo community is kind of starting to get to, that mindset where it's like,
I mean, to me,
this
that means
is bad.
Yeah, that they still have fundamental things they're trying to work out.
I don't want it to be like that, but it's like more and more I'm like, this isn't happening. Like,
I mean, yeah, that would not make me feel good either.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, we'll see. I think that was a pretty good comeback episode. Made it a surprise. We kind of blew through it at first, but we still managed to make it a decent length. But yeah, we're gonna really try and keep it on our every other week schedule again. I mean, it was like Thanksgiving, which is right by not Halloween. Holy shit, Christmas, and it's like family. It's like Scarlett's birthday just happened. My birthday just happened. Like, it's just been a busy fucking deal for both of us. Like, you went on vacation for like a week.
Santa Fe is fucking sick. Highly recommend.
Yeah. So we'll try to keep this back on our regular schedule. But until then, I hope you've enjoyed.
Until then, we'll see you next time.
Only thing we will leave you off with is go watch. Fuck, I keep forgetting his name.
Bloat Lord.
Yeah. Please do us a favor. Just go into YouTube and type in Bloat Lord.
Bloat Lord Grizzly.
And
Bloat Lord Grizzly. What is he? It's Yell?
Roar.
Bloat Lord Grizzly Roar. You'll have a good time.
Just watch that. I'm going to make a sample of it, and we'll probably play it at the beginning of every like podcast. Ah!
Good deal. Well, thank you for listening again.
Shouts out to our sponsors. No one.
Shout out to our sponsors. The Bloat Lord.
Yeah, shout out to our sponsor. You gotta live it.
No, he's not actually a sponsor, just in case he tries to sue us.
Yeah, and his workout form is great. You should follow it if you want severe gains. And on that note, we're out. Thank you for listening to episode
next time.
3. See you.
See ya, man.
All right, fuck.